Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. Playoff time. Of course, I wanted to get back to you guys and let you know the game was at 6 o'clock as I promised I would, since I didn't have a time for the game between the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. Chase Center, San Francisco, California, home of my mom. A lot of my family's out there in the Bay Area rooting for the Warriors. We've never had to face off against them before. Never had to face off against those folks until now. So I got to do some reaching out to my family, let them know that it's purple and gold over here. But nevertheless, what we're doing is essentially preparing for this basketball game, second game of the series, and it's now time for the Golden State Warriors to react to what it is that they've seen. I think they're fairly confident that shooting the ball, though their biggest strength probably is not their best attack against the Lakers. Removing Draymond Green or Kevon Looney from the lineup was something that I heard Kendrick Perkins mention. I don't know what type of adjustments they'll make, but they got to do something to get bigger, not necessarily smaller. I don't know if you can do that, but I think Jonathan Kuminga, using him and putting him in positions to drive at the rim is really something that they're going to have to utilize in this series. And he's just going to have to take the punishment, and we're just going to have to block his shots and stuff like that. But he's their hardest hitting athletic forward. And you get yourself a heavy dose of him and Andrew Wiggins, and you got your athleticism that you need to try to give yourself a puncher's chance. Couple that with maybe Jordan Poole, obviously Steph Curry, and you feel like you got some chances out there to really score the ball, possibly on our defense. But the problem is those guys aren't tall enough to really do anything with Anthony. So as long as Anthony is on point and feeling the way that he's been feeling these last two games, there's really nothing that the Golden State Warriors should be able to do on the offensive side to get past him. Now, on the defensive side, there are things that they're going to probably do. I said be prepared for the double team, but who knows what all types of awesome schemes they're going to try to come up with to create boxes around Anthony Davis, to try to crowd him out, force him to pass the rock, hopefully try to get 14-point Anthony Davis to reemerge. We got to keep him out of early foul trouble in every game in this series. This is no exception. We also need to get him off to good starts, and we know how that looks when we do versus when we don't. But really, I just want to see us continue to tweak what we're doing. You know, I'm trying to figure out how much should I really care about Vando's deficiencies on the offensive end when I know that I'm best to have him on the floor regardless. I guess it's just a play by ear kind of thing. Depends on how much we need what he's not giving us versus how much we need what he is. But given the fact that we've assigned him to chase Steph Curry around, you got situations where he's kind of murking up the offense in a way to start the games. But if you don't have him out there starting on Steph, who is chasing Steph around? It isn't D'Angelo. It isn't going to be Austin or whoever else in that starting lineup with him. Ain't going to be Bron. So you need Vando in the starting lineup. The problem is we keep on finding him in that corner for the three-point shot. Sometimes he makes it, sometimes he doesn't. I think he was 1 for 3 in the last one. That's cool. But for me, it's like throughout the course of this series or these playoffs, he has just been entirely too relied upon to hit that corner three. I don't love it. And it's open for a reason. And because it's open, they're crowding out Bron and AD, and it's hard for those guys to get off to the start that they need to. When that's happening, all we're finding is him in the corner. So it's a situation where we got to find a way to not take that shot just because it's open. We got to try to force the issue against them in situations sometimes, so that our possessions aren't living and dying upon a corner Vando three. You know what I mean? So that's really what it comes down to. It's hard for AD to get, that 9 out of 10 start that he had in that last game, if only thing we're finding is that corner three. So let's try to mix it up a little bit and try to find ways of utilizing Vando. On the offensive end, it doesn't allow for just that, and that's it, and then we end up losing the possession. Bron in the three-point shot, of course, we want him to be mindful that it hasn't fallen at all, and it's just basically him throwing up bricks at this point. Austin Reeves continued to be aggressive, but of course the defensive players that are on him are tough. We've already talked about all that. So yeah, I'm just looking for more. These are players that I think they're going to use. Dante DiVincenzo, Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins. Those are the players that can really attack us, man. In terms of guys that they utilize on their bench, probably give them a better shot at driving at the rim. Um, Rather than trying to run Steph Curry all night and all series, I know he's a bionic man, but you're just asking for it. You can't ask him to do that all playoffs long. We know that. Also, Klay Thompson was a little cold in the last game for the most part, even though I thought he shot pretty well from behind the arc. Overall, he didn't have his greatest game. I do expect for him to light us up something fierce tonight at home. And that's another thing. This is the Golden State Warriors at home, man. So you best believe they're going to be shooting the ball better than you've ever seen in your life. I just expect unprecedented shooting tonight. And, I really want a 2-0 lead on this team because we have the schematic advantage. But I also know how much it's coming against us tonight in this environment. And you know what I mean? I just expect for them to come with a hellacious surge. It's to be expected. They're the champs, but they are at that disadvantage. And so unprecedented losing can take place in this series if we don't overly respect them and stay locked in. Effort always. So that's really what it's about, man. Chase these boys around these screens, keep them out of the paint, block those shots as usual. If we can keep ourselves above 9 block shots a game, we're home free against this Golden State Warrior team that needs us not to be able to do that. I was studying a little bit of the numbers against the Sacramento Kings, and it was just like I described. Sacramento was blocking like 3 shots, 4 shots a game. That is exactly what the Golden State Warriors need. Somebody to just stop protecting the rim so damn much. And unfortunately for them, that's exactly how we're constructed, to protect it and block shots and leave little people looking up at us as the ball flies into the fourth row. So that is hopefully what we will allow ourselves plenty of. Size advantages. Rui Hachimura, of course, we want to use him more. We talked a lot about his minutes not being where they need to be. We've also talked about him being able to utilize his size to take advantage of players smaller than him. We like how he backed down the players in front of him. I think they put Klay Thompson, and I don't remember who else they put on him, but I know for a fact he was able to manhandle him with absolute and utter ease. So I want us to utilize Rui Hachimura. He reminds me of Blake Griffin with his back to the basket, turnaround, fadeaway, stuff like that. He just has that type of size, and he's laser focused when it's time to score the ball. Though he ain't passing too much, but he has tried to work that into his equation a bit more, and I think it is to his betterment. But nevertheless, he's a highly efficient player when he does get into his bag, and I think it's something that we should just look to lean on more. I would not be upset at him taking about 10 shots tonight. I think I expect him to hit about 6 of them too. So, these are the type of things I'm looking for. Obviously, we missed some. I'm recapping everything, but Dennis Schroeder, we want to continue to get him to be comfortable in the rotation. We can't really win without him being productive. Him and D'Lo giving us practically 40 points between the two of them was definitely a big part of why we won. It ain't just Anthony Davis doing all kinds of dope stuff. You need other guys to contribute in major ways every night. It don't really matter who it is. It just got to be a handful of them. About 6-7 people got to be able to contribute big. And we've been getting that. So that's what we want to see tonight. And, I just don't know what to expect. Maybe this is a big Wiggins game. You know what I mean? Maybe this is a big Klay game. This is one of those situations where you expect the home team to play well. I just hope we can weather the storm the same way we did in the fourth quarter when they erased that 10-point deficit. That's the mentality, is to not react to their greatness, but more so lean into your advantages and let them shoot whatever they're going to shoot. I'm not shell-shocked by them hitting 12 three-point shots in a half. I'm not, because that's what they're supposed to do. What I am going to be pissed off at is them getting 50 points in the paint. Absolutely not. No. We don't want them getting anything unprecedented in the paint because it shouldn't be possible. So these are things that we're hopeful for. Now, I know our team is very good. I know our coach is getting better. And I know that we're locked in right now. We love playing to the level of the opponent. So we definitely know the Warriors are going to be a team that we wake up for. What else? What else is there to say, man? I think as long as we continue to use our size, I'd love to see Wenyen Gabriel get some minutes, crash the offensive glass, get us some second chance points while he's out there. And just, again, let's not overuse Anthony Davis. This is what that's about. I just want to see us be smarter about keeping his body healthy and fresh for the duration of every single playoff possible game. Assume every series is going 7 with overtime attached to each game. And tell me it makes sense to overuse him like we are right now in the second game of the second round. Because I'm telling you right now, that's the type of energy you want to be able to have to give the game. because you don't know what it's going to take to win the championship. And unless you're willing to roll over at any moment and just give all your effort away, then you need to store up enough effort to do what it takes, no matter how far the distance may be. And that's what the champion's going to do, and we want to be that. So we got to outlast everybody else. So we can't run Anthony Davis into the ground and act like he's Kevon Looney, the bionic man who plays every game. It's just not smart. So let's look at that advantage, say we have it, we love it, we fear the champs enough to overuse that advantage so that it gives us a chance. But if it's going to end up killing us on the back end anyway, what difference does it make? You know what I mean? So that's what it really comes down to. We got to be balanced, sharp, and throw that effort out there for that team to try to capture against them. They can't do nothing with us when we're active and playing hard. I don't know of us not to be a hard playing team. I think I've only complained about that maybe one time all season. We play hard every game, and I give Darvin his credit that he deserves for forcing that upon our roster at all times. And so that's what I want to see them play hard tonight. Play harder than Steph Curry. Play harder than Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole and all these guys. Continue to crash the glass on a guy like Looney. Don't be discouraged if he gets 20 boards again. Just make sure that we have enough boards to make it make sense. He's only one person. Also, expect Draymond to play better. He scored the ball a lot, but he didn't do the things defensively that he wanted to. And listening to him talk, he definitely hated how he played. So we need to expect for him to have a huge game for his standards, meaning a lot of rebounds, steals, assists, and maybe a couple points further. His three-point shot has been falling, as we've been talking about, so I do expect he'll hit another one tonight. So these are things I'm just paying attention to, man. But all in all, we do need to understand that their shooters are hitting shots. Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry all shot over 40% from behind the arc, I believe. Klay Thompson shot a lot, though. But those guys were shooting well. Jordan Poole was killing us throughout the third and second quarter. That's why he felt so confident to shoot that last shot in the end. And then we need to understand that is because we're not the greatest perimeter defensive team in the world. So we need to understand that we're going against a great defensive team out there, shooting team rather, and to just be cautious about how confident we are, given that is not one of our strengths and that it is the greatest shooting team out there. So for what it's worth, it's just an important basketball game. If we can bring the effort and the urgency necessary to this game too, to capture it, it can pretty much put us in a firm position to ultimately see ourselves winning the series for certain. Now that doesn't mean that they can't overcome an 0-2 deficit, because they already done that this season against the Kings. But the Kings did not provide that disadvantage that we do, and they are not headed back to their house in this situation. That would have meant they already lost 2 games at home, and that makes it even worse for them. Headed back to Staples, where they have trouble winning anything on the road. So I'm telling you that if we want to win this series, this is a game we must capture. Now, Stephen A. brought a funny stat out there that I think I'll throw back at us. Essentially, Anthony Davis only plays well in odd games. If it's in the second, the fourth, sixth, he's not playing his best game, it seems, although in the 6th game he played great. So what we want to see him do is just bring the urgency necessary to provide himself a better, even game. It's game 2, so step up and give us more than 14 points and stay in the rhythm that you've been in, which has been great, obviously. So that's really what it is. We just want to see him continue to get better as the series progresses, get healthier as the series progresses, not get worn down. Also, we know there's only one game between every one day between every game in this series. So please be mindful of that when you send our guys out there, Darvin, because I'm telling you, the back end of this series is just as important as the front end. You may not be able to sweep them, but you definitely know if you overuse people, you will run out of gas. And so that's really what it comes down to. Yes, we could potentially run them out of here if we overuse Anthony Davis, but we could also potentially lose those games and extend the series as to which he's too tired. Just to say it twice. So that's really what I got there, man. Playoff time means urgency. Urgency, defense, attention to detail. Being intellectually competitive in our nature. Not doing anything to get in our own way. Hitting free throws. Getting back on defense. Not arguing with the referees. Not allowing any antagonist nonsense by Draymond Green to frustrate us and put us in a position to get kicked out of these basketball games. The best way to defeat the champs is to bring your best at all times and to take every possession seriously, each and every possession seriously. Win every quarter. And as you do so, forget about the mistakes and learn from them, but then put them behind you and don't allow them to carry into confidence, determined, I guess you can say. So that is the thought. Man, am I happy we're in this second round, already up in the series. We just got to keep our stranglehold and continue to have urgency. The urgency that it took to get to the play-in tournament. The urgency that it took to win the play-in tournament. And then from there, through the Memphis Grizzlies. If we cheat ourselves out of effort, we will cheat ourselves out of results. Simple as that. We never cheated ourselves out of effort leading up to this process, and that's exactly why we're here. So continue to play hard. Do not expect that your talent will be enough against the Warriors. So that's what I got to say, man. Be big, play big, block shots, and that's what I got to say. BDL 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.